Good morning, students. Myself, Mrs. Pallavi Rajesh. I welcome you all on behalf of Tiळक Shikshan Prasarak Mandal and Tiळak Junior College. In today's lecture, we are going to study chapter number 6, that is correspondence with the members. In that, we'll be studying two letters, that is payment of dividend through your dividend warrant, and the second letter will be electronic payment of your interim dividend. But before starting with the actual letters, let us first just revise what do we mean by the term dividend. Dividend is a return on the investment given to the shareholders. It is the portion of the profit of the company which is distributed to the owners, that is the shareholders of the company. The company can either declare the final dividend as well as the interim dividend. The dividend can be paid either through dividend warrant or any of the electronic mode, that is your ECS, NEFT, etc., to the concerned shareholder. The dividend is recommended by the board of directors but approved by the shareholders in the annual general body meeting. And once you are declaring the dividend in the annual general meeting, it is compulsory that you have to pay the dividend to the concerned shareholders within 30 days from the date of your declaration. Now let us start with the actual part of the letter, that is the payment of dividend through dividend warrant. Now, as we have discussed in the last lecture, the secretary have to keep in mind the all precautions while drafting the letter. Now let us begin with the actual drafting of the letter. The secretary is the concerned person who is going to draft the letter. In the middle of the page, you have to write the name of the company, then just below that the registered address of your company, then the CIN number which is allotted to the company. Then on the right hand side you will write the website, email ID and date on which the letter is drafted. In our letter it is 7th of May 2019. Then on the left hand side we will write the phone number, below that the fax number and a reference number. What is reference number? It is the outward number given to the letter. Then just below that we will write the name of the shareholder. In this case it is Mrs. Jyoti Surti. Just below that her residential address, that is 12 Lakshmi Niwas, Amrapali Marga, Bandra, Mumbai 400050. Now after completing the address, just below that on the middle of the page we will write the subject, that is payment of dividend on equity shares. Below that we will write the equity shares of ₹10 each at par. Whether the shares are issued at par, at premium or at discount, you have to mention it in the letter. In this case we have issued the shares at par, so we have to write equity shares of ₹10 each at par. Then just below that again on the left hand side you will write, dear madam, I am instructed by the board of directors to convey to you that in the 31st annual general meeting held on 20th of April 2019, final dividend at the rate 2.5 per equity share of ₹10 each has been approved by the members for the year ending 31st March 2019. So what you will write in the first para, that is the secretary is instructed by the board of directors that they have conducted an annual general meeting which is held on 20th of April 2019. Now you have to be very careful while writing the dates. Initially they will go for the annual general meeting, that is on 20th of April 2019. Then just after that the secretary will draft the letter, that is on the 7th of May 2019 he have drafted the letter to the concerned shareholder. Now the final dividend is declared at 2.5 per share of ₹10 each, which is again approved by the members for the year ending 31st March 2019. So you have to mention how much dividend the company is going to give to the concerned shareholder. Then next para you will write, your company has complied with all the statutory provisions under the section 123 of the Companies Act 2013 relating to the declaration of dividend. So you have to inform to the shareholders that we have completed with all the legal formalities as far as your dividend is concerned, we have complied with the provisions as per the section 123 of the Companies Act 2013. Then just below that you have to mention all the details relating to the payment of the dividend. You have to write the registered folio number, then the number of shares held by that particular shareholder, in this case it is 100, then the distinctive number, that is 3012 to 400. Every share has certain distinctive numbers, so in this particular case you have to mention the distinctive numbers. Then dividend warrant number which is issued to the shareholder, then gross dividend, how much is the amount of dividend, that also you have to mention. Then whether any income tax is deducted on that particular dividend, so in this case it is nil. Then the net dividend again goes to rupees 250. So all these particulars you have to mention, which is to be informed to the shareholder. Then just below that you'll write the dividend warrant is attached herewith. So along with this letter we are attaching the dividend warrant. Please detach the dividend warrant along the pre-quoted line. So we are informing the concerned shareholder that along with this letter we are sending you the dividend warrant. Just detach it and deposit in your concerned bank. So we will close the letter by saying thanking you. Then again on the right hand side, yours faithfully for Anmol Steel Industries Limited, the secretary. And in the enclosure you will write the dividend warrant. Now what is enclosure? Whatever letters we are attaching with the letter, you have to mention that in the enclosures. So the secretary will inform the concerned shareholder that we have conducted the annual general meeting and we are going to give you the dividend, and the particulars of all the details of the dividend the secretary has to mention in the concerned letter. Now let us proceed to the second part as far as dividend is concerned. In this case, the electronic payment of interim dividend is paid to the concerned shareholder through ECS or NEFT. Now this particular type of dividend is called as interim dividend. The interim dividend means the dividend which is given between the two financial years. That particular dividend is called as interim dividend. Now in this case the interim dividend is paid to the shareholders by electronic mode. Now again in the middle of the page you have to write the name of your company, then below that the registered address, then CIN number, then again on the right hand side the website, email, and the date on which you are drafting the letter, that is 3rd of June 2019. Then again on the left hand side you have to mention the phone number, fax, then your reference number, and just below that you will write the name of the shareholder. In this case it is Mr. Jayant Modi. His registered address, that is 15 Sagar Apartment, Vanavihar Road, Pune 411030. Then just below that in the middle of the page you will write the subject, that is payment of interim dividend through electronic clearing service, that is ECS. Now the direct credit is given to the concerned bank account of that particular shareholder. Here we are making the payment with the help of electronic. Now just below that you will write, dear sir, we are pleased to inform you that the board of directors of Guru Sai Auto Limited in its meeting held on Thursday 20th of May 2019 has declared interim dividend, that is rupees 1 10% per equity share of face value of rupees 10 each. So in the first para the secretary is informing to the shareholder that the company have conducted the meeting, and in that particular meeting they have declared the interim dividend of rupees 1 per equity share of the face value of rupees 10 each. It means they are giving the dividend at 10%. Then just below that in the second para the secretary have written that as per the instructions given by you, we have remitted the amount of aforesaid interim dividend to your banker for crediting your bank account, that is dividend will be payable by electronic transfer. So as per the instructions given by the shareholder, the secretary is informing that we are going to make you the payment of dividend through electronic mode. So your company has complied with all the provisions related to the declaration and payment of dividends. So the secretary is also informing that we have complied with all the legal formalities as far as the act is concerned, and we are declaring the dividend, and the payment will be done to you through electronic mode. Again, the details of the dividend payable is given below. You have to mention all the details of the dividend, that is number of equity shares held on record date, that is on the 31st May 2019 it was 500. Then dividend per share is 1. Then amount is rupees 500. Then the ID number, why? Because they are going to make the payment through electronic mode. Then the date of remittance, that is 6th of June 2019, and a bank account number of the concerned person. So the secretary is informing that please verify the credit of the amount in your passbook or the statement of accounts. So the secretary is mentioning here all the details relating to the dividend warrant. Why? Because the payment will be done through electronic mode. Then in the last para he will be writing, as per the provisions of the Income Tax Act 1961, no tax is required to be deducted at source in respect of the dividend payment, but dividend distribution tax has been paid by the company. So he mentions that according to the Income Tax Act, the company has paid the dividend distribution tax to the government. So he will be closing the letter by writing, thanking you yours faithfully for Guru Sai Auto Limited. Just below that he will write his name, the company secretary. So in this particular lecture we have seen the distribution of dividend. The first letter was related to the distribution of your final dividend, and the second one was the distribution of dividend through electronic mode, that is your interim dividend was paid to the concerned shareholders. Then I hope you all might have understood these two letters which are drafted by the secretary. Thank you all.